Thank you, Michael. We're going to start down on the end, and then we'll move back, and we will have an opportunity for Q&A for press afterwards. So we'll start with Julian Alaphilippe. Julian has been in the yellow jersey here at the Amgen Tour of California. Came close, but wasn't quite able to win the overall. Julian, are you targeting one specific stage this year? What's the most important stage for you?
Sorry for my bad English. I try to understand, but you ask me if...
The most important stage for you. One stage that you circle.
Okay.
I
think the stage 3 will be a really important day for the race, so we will see.
All right, we'll go to Mark Cavendish next to him. Mark, obviously a very difficult edition of the Tour of California this year, a lot of climbing. How does a sprinter survive with so many climbing days to be able to do your best at the end?
Kind of just got to hope that there's a lot of other sprinters in a similar condition, really. You know, it's quite good that the race is bookended by 2 sprints, which means you've got an initiative to kind of get to the finish in as best condition as possible for, you know. I've won 3 times in Sacramento, and so it'll be a great initiative to get to Sacramento and try and win again there.
Talk about what a climbing day is like for a sprinter like you. Just trying to survive, I mean, what do you spend your day doing in the peloton?
Yeah, it's not like we're taking it easy. We're going as hard as the front guys. We just don't go as fast, really, you know. It's a bit like that. It's nice to pull together. You just got to hope like someone like Jens isn't in the group talking, you know, because that's when it can kind of crack you know. And you start going and getting them T-shirts. You know, them T-shirts say like "shut up legs." Like you go and get them printed up like "shut up Jens," you know. But no, it's quite good. There's a good camaraderie in. Like guys, it's not fun, but everybody just they knuckle together. We got the same goal, which is to get through and race in the next stage that suits us really.
So not quite a day off for the sprinters.
No, it's actually people think we're fat and lazy, you know, but we have to go hard every day really, you know. There's no real off day for us, you know. So I'll keep telling myself that, and hopefully everyone will believe me.
Just got to make it to Sacramento. All right, we'll go to the current world champion, Mr. Peter Sagan, who every time I see him looks more and more like he comes from San Diego. Peter, you haven't missed an edition of the Tour of California since you've become a professional. Obviously, this is an important race for you. Why do you keep coming back to the Amgen Tour of California?
Hello, everybody. For what I training back for the race? Yeah, because I like America. I like to ride here. It's always good weather. At the least when I come, it was always good. And then yeah, it's good preparation, good people, and good race.
You had a small break before this in your season. Talk about what you did in those few weeks that you took off from racing before the Tour of California.
Yeah, a little bit. I did 2 races in mountain bike, just for fun. One I didn't finish because I crashed, and one I was 4th. I flat tired, and after I turned back in the front, but yeah, it was just for a try to have fun, and now I am here.
You're always very relaxed when you come to race your bike here in California. Is it harder this year, wearing the world champion stripes, to stay relaxed and enjoy racing your bike?
Yeah.
But California makes it easier.
Yeah, California for sure.
All right, let's move down to Sir Bradley Wiggins.
Tomorrow we go surf, right?
Yeah, we're all surfing tomorrow. Yeah. We'll get that set up for you, Peter. Bradley, you've been here at the Tour of California before, obviously an overall winner, winning the yellow jersey, but you come in kind of a different capacity this year. Talk about your new team that you're racing with in 2016.
Yeah. No, this is my second road race for the year, so I don't race on the road. I retired from the road last year, but I get talked into doing a couple of races a year, and just, you know, it's a real honour to be here with the team, young guys, and thanks to the organisers for having us, because we won't get in the way of these guys, don't worry, except sort of 10k to go. We'll come up, get on telly, be a bit disruptive, and then get out the way, like we did in Dubai. You know, we were doing that in Dubai, getting on everyone's nerves, but, you know, for the guys, it's like a big step up for them to be here, and for me, you know, I don't know really, I'm 12, 13 kilos heavier than when I won the race, so I ain't going to be climbing up Tahoe with any of these guys anymore. But, you know, just like I say, I don't do many road races, but the ones I have done this year, like this is a really special race, one of the most enjoyable for me, coming out here and having a bit of holiday and riding around with all the world's best, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. So thanks again for having us. Nice one.
Will we see you on the time trial day?
Again, I don't know. I haven't done a time trial for 14 months, so I've got the bike back out the garage and check what chain rings on it and stuff. It's the same course as 2 years ago, and we'll see. I don't know.
It's just like riding a
15,
bike.
12 kilos is a lot to be carrying around. It's like carrying a small baby on your back. So
Pretty big, baby.
it's. You're a big boy, John. Well, how much do you weigh as a child? Yeah. Well, Cav definitely was a big baby. But yeah, so we'll see. Just nice to be part of the race more than anything. We'll get the sleeves and shorts rolled up, work on the tan a bit, and go back to the UK.
Nice to have you back. Thanks for being here. We'll go to Alexander Kristoff next to Sir Wiggins. Alexander, sprint stages for you, obviously. A lot of strong sprinters in the field. You have a big, lot of competition here in California. How are you feeling ahead of the race?
Yeah, I saw the start list, and many of the best sprinters are here. So for sure, it will be a big battle for the sprint stages.
How many stages do you think will be for the pure sprinters? How many opportunities will you have for a stage win?
At least the last day, and hopefully maybe 2 more maximum. So it's not too many, but yeah, we have at least some chance.
All right, we'll go down to John Degenkolb wearing a long-sleeve black shirt. Much respect, John.
Yeah.
How are
Hello,
you feeling?
everybody.
How are you feeling coming into the Tour of California? You like your form? You happy with where you are?
Yeah, I'm feeling good again, and I'm first of all very happy to be here because I had some pretty tough months behind me now, and I'm happy to start my first stage race, and I just have to see how it goes, and it was my first race on Frankfurt 2 weeks ago was okay, was good, but I weren't able to finish. So I hope I can stay in the race here. It's a tough parcours, so it will be very hard.
All right, and finally we'll go to Taylor Phinney, who has been a stage winner here at the Tour of California. Let him get a microphone. Taylor, as an American rider, how big is a stage win at a race like the Tour of California?
First off, I'd just like to say thank God for Bill Walton turning this press conference around. Well done, Bill. Yeah, I mean, it's for us, for the Americans, there's only a couple of us in the race, and this is, this is what we dream about. I love racing in the U.S. I love being in San Diego. I've spent a couple winters here, spent some time in L.A., so... yeah, if we can get a win, if I can get a win, it's beautiful. It's awesome.
You're one of the few guys here that can really do it all, a strong all-arounder. Are you focused on a jersey, or are you looking at stage wins? What's the goal for you this week?
I'm in Cali, bro. I'm just chilling. No, I don't know. We'll see.
Good answer. All right. Yeah, we're going to go to Katie Hall next, who's going to be competing in our women's edition of the Amgen Tour of California. Katie, you won a stage last year. Talk about what it means for you to have the European riders be able to come race in the U.S. You guys have to spend almost your entire season racing the World Tour over in Europe, and now they get a little taste of what it's like for you. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's good. This is just about the best field that's ever been assembled in the women's peloton in America. And yeah, it's the first stage race in the World Tour for women, which has just begun this year. So it's a really, really important race for us. And a lot of countries are still fighting for Olympic spots. And I think this race will really determine a lot of who goes to the Olympics. So.
Have you had a chance to recon any of the courses they're going to be racing?
Yeah, I live in NorCal, so I've ridden almost all the roads we ride.
Your big stage. What are you looking at?
I think the stage in Santa Rosa is going to be really amazing. It's a really hard course with some really hard climbs, but they're not at the end of the race. So I think a lot of things could happen on that day. That'll affect the GC, and it'll be some really exciting racing.
Your biggest competition? Who are you looking at in the women's field?
There's a lot of good Euro teams here. So
Hard to pick.
Yeah, it's going to be a really hard fight. So it'll be fun.
All right, we'll open it up to questions for press. We're going to pass a microphone to you, so if you could just raise your hand, we'll get a microphone to you, and you can ask questions from there. Neil?
Thanks. not sure if this is working. Yeah, question for Bradley. Being in a different role this year, not racing for GC, who do you see as the GC favorites at this race?
I don't know really. You just never know who's sort of guys coming back from the classics and Liège and things like that. So you don't know who's had a break. And to be honest, other than these guys here, I don't know who else is racing here. So it'd be hard to say. I mean, the young man here is probably, I think, he was second last year, and he's been up there in Flesh and that this year. So I'd have to say probably one of the favourites, definitely.
Hi, this question is for John Degenkolb. John, you just returned, as you mentioned, to racing. We heard a little bit about your physical challenges returning to racing, but can you discuss some of the mental challenges you've had to overcome since the horrific crash in January?
No, it was a horrible crash, and of course that affects your performance also on the bike, and like how you go back on the bike. And I was pretty scared before I did my first ride in traffic outside again, and it turned out to be quite normal, luckily. So it was, I think, the good moment. I didn't start too early to go outside, because your body and your head needs to finish the process, and in the end, I'm happy to be a cyclist again, and of course still alive, but also like happy to just living the dream to be a cyclist. I mean, that's very important for me, and I'm happy to be here.
Pat.
Bradley, obviously you've heard about some of the issues with British cycling going on. The performance director had to say.
Hey, we're going to ask that we keep these to Tour California questions. If you guys don't mind, we want to keep this focused so we can get these riders out of here.
Katie mentioned the Olympics and Rio, and I wanted to ask some of you guys, this is really open-ended, how the Tour of California is factoring into your training for that in August.
Well, just for the U.S. guys, we have our national championships next weekend, so it's a great way to kind of test ourselves, at least in the time trial in Folsom, looking ahead to 2 weekends from now. But it's a really hard course, 8 very difficult days, and for me personally, that's gonna help me build up to where I want to be in Rio. Boom.
Yeah, this is a question from Mark and for Bradley. Perhaps some people here may not know that you shared a world championship title on the Madison a few months back. Can you talk a little bit about what it's like to go from that experience? You guys were very happy when you took that world championship, to being on the road and being on different teams. Maybe not directly racing against each other, but certainly being in the peloton on different teams, different jerseys.
For me now, you could talk afterwards, but it's far I've gone full circle, because when I rode this race in 2008, me and him were really fat. It was in February. We were at the back of the race every day in the Gruppetto. Then I went and became a tour rider. Then I started winning the race and being hours ahead of him. Now this year I've gone back to being in the back group with him.
A month later we won the Worlds after that.
Yeah.
We used this race as preparation for the Worlds. Now we're using this race as before the Olympics this year, you know. It's kind of a big step up. You were world champion, but I wasn't in 2000. Yeah, I was actually. I had been. But, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, we've gone full circle.
Yeah. But it's all right. We've been together, we've just been up Big Bear training with the national
We've
team.
been at Big Bear, and he's put 2 kilos on because he's been drinking caramel macchiatos in Starbucks every day. So he's really worried coming into this race as to whether he's going to be good enough or not. So if you, just during the week, if you want to drop in, say, you look a bit fat, Cav, haven't you? You put a bit of weight on. It really cracks him.
Your mum still likes me, lad.
My mum's dead, just for anyone who's...
She's not.
That's really below the belt.
She's not.
Oh, I'm leaving.
I seen you yesterday.
Fitting your mum. Your mum's a dog.
We do two more. Go down here.
Hands over there.
Peter, and obviously last year on Mount Baldy you had a bit of a struggle, but you perforated any doubts in anyone's mind about your endurance ability. Do you expect to have to dig that deep this year on any of the climbs?
Oh yeah, I think every year is different, and last year was like I had maybe a lucky year, and yeah, I tried to do my best in the climb, and I did it. And I think this year it's much more climbs, and then it's better just maybe try some stages. But also last year before Tour of California, if you tell me like you're gonna win, I tell you are crazy. And this year is the same. For me, no, I'm not prepared for a GC this year, and we'll see what's gonna happen.
One more. Okay. We'll go on the back here.
Hi. Hey, this question start with Mark. If anyone else wants to dig in, that's fine. I just wanted to know if you had seen the San Diego course and what you thought of it, and that also goes to anyone else here as well.
You haven't seen the roads yet. Obviously, seen the route map and the profile. Yeah, like Yen said before, there's a big climb in the middle of it. It's not too severe in its gradient, but the length could prove a factor there. But you know, hopefully there's enough teams that don't want it to be together for the run into the finish and have a sprint here. That's what we hope for anyway.
Very good. And then to our execs in the corner over there. Hello. Hi. Oh, yeah. I'll just leave.
All right, we'll turn it back over to Michael Roth. And
No, I was
we'll
trying to get a question with our execs here.
Oh.
I didn't have their attention. All right. Hi. Sorry about that. Just with current events, I just wanted to know what you guys do to ensure there aren't any motors using any bikes.
What? Motors and bikes. I'm going to answer that.
Well, the dozens of judges that we have that are in cars and on streets and everywhere, I mean, the bikes are inspected, and the bikes are, you'll watch, if you come out to the time trial, the bikes are weighed, and there are many, many safeguards to make sure nobody has motors and bikes. One last question somebody tweeted in that we thought we'd ask. If you guys have some memorable characters, not each other, but dressed up costume characters on the course, any of them that you've seen over the years that you're looking to see again?
I have one.
Go ahead, Freddie.
Gingerbread man that I hit a couple years ago on Mount Baldy. Anybody seen that one? You guys remember that one? That was pretty...
All right, so we thank everybody for coming today. We invite everybody to see you on Sunday here in San Diego and all across the course. Look for Bill Walton and Jens signing their books. And if we'd allow the riders to get up, and they're going to go that way and they're going to pose for a picture down on the dock. What could be more California than these guys with the boats behind them and send home? So thank you, everybody, for coming, and we'll see you for 8 days.